Welcome back to Organic Chemverse. In the last lecture, we have seen how to name the organic molecules with different functional group. In this video, let's name some of the cyclic compounds which are also known as alicyclic compounds. The alicyclic compounds are not the one which are aromatic in nature. Then what do you mean by aromatic? For that, I have given the link in the description section. You can check out the aromatic molecules explanation. Now, let's start naming the given molecules. For cyclic molecules, commonly we use the bond line structures. And you see there are 3 carbons here, and it's obvious that the hydrogens will be attached on the carbon. It's just that we don't write them. So you have to understand that every time. Since there are 3 carbons, we can call this molecule as cyclopropane. So here we are using cyclo as a prefix to show that they are alicyclic compounds. These are also called as alicyclic hydrocarbons because they are made up of only hydrogen and carbon. Now, the next molecule is cyclobutane because there are 4 carbons. And similarly, cyclopentane and cyclohexane, cycloheptane, and it goes on like cyclooctane, cyclonone, etc. Now, what if there is a substituent like this? So here we have methyl, right? So how do you name this molecule? Use the prefix methyl. Methyl cyclopropane. You don't have to call this as 1 because it's understood that we are going to number it like this. Since there is only one methyl, you can just write it as methyl cyclopropane. Now, look at this. On the same carbon, there are 2 methyl. Therefore, it's better to write the position 1,1 dimethyl cyclopropane. Cyclopropane. Now, we have a cyclopentane molecule with 3 methyl group. In this case, you have to use the lowest sum rule. You start numbering from the carbon with more substituents on it. So that's why the name of the molecule would be 1, 1, 3. There are 3 methyl, therefore trimethyl, and there are 5 carbons, therefore cyclopentane. There are no spaces here, okay? It's just that there is no space. I am writing like this. Otherwise, 1, 1, 3 trimethyl cyclopentane is the full name of the molecule. Now, this is a interesting example. Whenever we have substituents like methyl and ethyl, we tend to give priority to ethyl due to alphabetical priority. But in this case, there are 2 methyl group. Therefore, we are using the lowest sum rule. So that's why you have to number from here like this. Therefore, how do you name this? Still, ethyl will have priority when you are giving the prefix, right? When you are writing the prefix. Therefore, you have to write it as 3-ethyl, 1,1 dimethyl, and then cyclopentane. Yes. Now, for the last molecule, look at the substituents. So, methyl and propyl, alphabetical priority. Methyl will get the highest priority. Therefore, 1 methyl. Here at third position, propyl is there. So, therefore, 3 propyl, and there are 6 carbons. Therefore, cyclohexane. Don't forget about the cyclo. It's a cyclic molecule. Therefore, cyclohexane. Now, let's take some more molecules with functional groups. The first molecule given here is a cyclopropene molecule. Because it has a double bond, we need to use the suffix "ene" here. Next, we have a methyl substituent on a cyclobutane. In this case, we have to number it properly. What does that mean? The double bond will get the priority, right? And then the methyl. Suppose if I number from here 1, 2, 3, 4, the methyl will get the fourth number. In that case, I prefer numbering this way so that the double bond is getting priority and also the methyl group. So what will be the name of the molecule? 3-methyl cyclo but 1-ene. So with respect to but 1-ene, the methyl is at the third position. Similarly, for the next molecule, we can number it this way. So what will be the name of the molecule? So the prefix would be ethyl, hence 1-ethyl. You have to write 1-ethyl here, right? Because with respect to the double bond, it is at the first position. That's why 1-ethyl cyclopent 1-ene or 1-cyclopentane. Either way it is correct. For the fourth molecule, if we number from here or here, anyway, the methyl groups are going to get the same number as it is symmetrical molecule. So let's number it this way. So 4, 5 dimethyl cyclohexane 1-ene. The cycloalkyne molecules are not so popular because of the sp hybridized carbon here, where the molecule wants to be linear. So that's the reason. So however, we can still name them using the simple rules. So number it this way. If I number from here 1, 2, 3, 4, but you're not considering the carbons of triple bond. So that is not correct. Therefore, this is a correct way of numbering it. So at fifth position, there is a methyl, 5-methyl cyclo. There are 8 carbons, therefore cyclooct. At first position, the triple bond is there, cyclooctane. Now, with halogens, how do we name them? Generally, halogens are named as haloalkane. So in this case, we are going to name them as halocycloalkane. So here, the chlorine carbon will get the first priority. Therefore, 1-chloro or simply chlorocyclopentane. Now, bromine and methyl are the substituents. So in this case, bromine is a functional group. Methyl is just an alkyl group. Therefore, you can call this as 1-bromo, alphabetical order, 4-methyl, and there are 6 carbons, hence cyclohexane. Now, whenever we have OH, we don't take it as a prefix. We still consider it as a alkanol. That means what? Since it is a cyclic molecule, you can always call it as cycloalkanol. So here it will become cyclopentanol. Many students make this mistake. They call it as hydroxycyclopentane. No, it is cyclopentanol. All is the part of the name here, the functional group. Okay, similarly, always make sure that the hydroxy carbon will get the priority and the methyl is a prefix now. 3-methyl cyclohexane. At first position it is present. Hexane 1 all. If you just write cyclohexane also it's fine, because with respect to all, the methyl is at the third position. Similarly, for the next molecule, I'm going to give the number of this. You can comment the name of this molecule in the comment section. Now let's see the next set of molecules. Now let's name the given molecules. First, identify the functional group. The functional group here is ether. So generally we name them as alkoxyalkane. So here methoxy is the prefix now. Very simple, methoxy. And here what do we have? Cycloalkane. So which alkane it is? Hexane. Therefore, cyclohexane. Similarly, we have a ethoxy and then there is a methyl. So give the priority now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what will be the name of this molecule? So 1-ethoxy, 3-methyl. I'm just going to write this much. Okay. 3-methyl and then cyclohexane. This is the UPAT name. Now, nitro is always a prefix. Therefore, we have to call this as nitrocyclohexane. All of them are cyclohexane molecules. Now, from here onwards, you have to remember the names of the molecules. It's a little bit tricky, so just concentrate here. Whenever you have cyclohexane attached to a functional group, which in turn carries the carbon, we have to name that carbon separately. What does that mean? I can't call this as cyclohexanal or heptanal, okay? Because the aldehyde carbon cannot be the part of the ring. That's why. So in this case, what we have to name this as? We have to call this as cyclohexane, and this part must be named as carbaldehyde. Carbaldehyde. Quite important, so please do remember this. Now, ketone can be part of the ring. Therefore, you can call this as cyclohexanone. By default, it will be 1. Therefore, cyclohexanone. But for this molecule, again you see the functional group carries the carbon. Therefore, you can't call it a cyclohexanoic acid or heptanoic acid. What do you have to name this as? Cyclohexane carboxylic acid. Easy to remember. Carboxylic acid. The carboxy part tells you that there is a carbon in the functional group. Same here also, carbaldehyde, because there is a carbon here. Similarly here also, cyclohexane, this part is called as carbonyl chloride because there is a carbonyl CO and then there is a chlorine, therefore carbonyl chloride. Now, similarly, this functional group is amide, so it has carbon in it, therefore cyclohexane. If there is a pentane, call it cyclopentane. Butane, then cyclobutane. Okay. So cyclohexane, this is called as carboxamide. Carboxamide. Now, what about the cyanide? Cyanide is also known as nitrile. So you simply call this cyclohexane. Cyclohexane. So this part is called as carbonitrile. And for the last molecule, I'm going to give you a hint. So here we have NH2, which is amine functional group, and it will be part of the suffix. So that is the clue. So you can name this molecule and you can comment that in the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. In the next video, we are going to name the aromatic compounds, which are also cyclic. Thank you.